Welcome back to The Price of Business. I'm your host, Kevin Price, talking to you about you and your business. Got Brad Huff on the program. He's a guest here on The Price of Business. He recently responded to an article that we did over there at priceofbusiness.com, series of practical, hands-on articles on different topics. Brad, tell us a little bit about TakeSupplyChain.com, and welcome to the program.
Sure, Kevin. Thanks for the opportunity to be on. Well, Take Supply Chain is a supply chain software solutions provider to mid-market manufacturing and distribution companies. Our solutions focus on significantly improved supply chain operations and profitability with trading partners through collaboration, automated transactions, and highly configurable workflow. As a result, buying and selling organizations have greater real-time visibility and interaction for decision-making across a number of critical supply chain functions, such as forecast sharing, procurement, order fulfillment logistics, and accounts payable invoicing. We are able to work with nearly all back-office ERP systems and can deliver our solution via the cloud, on-premise, and also mobile devices.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, interesting. What would you say, the article, by the way, I want to encourage people to check it out over there at priceofbusiness.com on the biggest challenges facing mid-market companies today. What do you think those are?
I think in a word, margin. Disruptions in the supply chain has extremely impactful effects to mid-market executives, and let me explain that a little bit. It really is left over from some of the recent recession. I think part is also tendency to be a little bit more conservative in a rapidly changing business world because they sit in the middle. They are squeezed on the upper side by larger, more well-funded enterprises with stronger product distribution networks. They're also squeezed on the lower end by more small businesses that often get configured products to market more quickly. It's a unique position that the other two industry or company segments don't experience, and that's why it takes a different skill set to run a thriving mid-market company. You have to be pretty good at both. Mid-market margins are extremely thin, and any disruption in the supply chain could certainly further erode that operating margin.
So, and you know what? It's interesting. I went to lunch with a friend of mine a couple of days ago, and we were at a restaurant that I go to all the time. And, I noticed the menu, the price of the item had changed, but it was, good old chicken and cashews at a Chinese restaurant. But, boy, they sure had a lot more beans and a lot less chicken, a lot more green beans and a lot less chicken. And I'm like going, wow, that's just interesting. And they're trying to figure out how to make the margins work without raising my price.
Yeah, certainly. They're just changing the mix of products that go into what they serve you, and typically what they're doing is the things that you get more of have a less cost to them, right? So
right.
It's just a way of trying to balance the things in a pretty unique hospitality-based supply chain there.
Yeah, absolutely. That's the challenge they're all facing. What kind of things is your company doing to mitigate this problem?
Well, we are really, trying to focus on mid-market companies specifically and provide a mix of consulting and software solutions to the problem. I think, as I explain margin, I think the thing that mid-market companies really need to do is take a holistic end-to-end approach to solving the problem. Look at all contributions to the margin. This would be from individual departments, cross-functional areas, relationships with trading partners, relationships with customers, et cetera. Each of these has a hard, soft dollar implication. They need to measure the impact on margin for each and then measure it against together. A study of a couple different models designed to understand what takes each area's margin contribution to its high and low thresholds and see what happens. We find that when we're working with companies that measure these activities, they give up a lower margin in one area can actually trigger and create a greater margin contribution as a whole. So really what we're trying to do is work with the combination of software and consulting and our thought leadership in this space to help mid-market companies really become, best practices in their operational supply chain areas.
Yeah, that makes sense. And when you look across the country at your various clienteles, are there certain regions that are better regions for you to work, or are you all over the country?
We're all over the country. I guess our ideal customer would certainly be a manufacturing or distribution type company. Our revenue range is about $100 million to $1 billion. Right now, I think our sweet spot is really between $150 million to $350. They are not necessarily any geographic location, but they're still very manual in their direct procure to pay process. And so, very simply, we're looking for companies, that we can help take a traditional manual process, automate that, which really allows them to experience a lower cost of day-to-day operations and induces a level of operational discipline that they weren't able to experience before.
Yeah, no question about it. How old is your company, by the way?
We've been around 20 years. We were founded originally in 1994 in Austin, Texas as BPA Systems. The organization was named Clear Orbit in 2000 and became Take Supply Chain in 2007 with the acquisition of Clear Orbit by Take. So 2 decades. It's a pretty long time in the software space.
Yeah, no question about it. And kind of do you mind name dropping a few clients?
I can certainly, drop a few names, I guess. We do business with Molson Coors. We do business with Caterpillar. And, a lot of our companies really look at their supply chains as kind of a competitive differentiator. So, I'd probably be remiss to mention any more than that.
Yeah, I understand. But some pretty big names, large, mid-market, all the way up to the enterprise level.
Absolutely. We can solve that operational procure-to-pay process in companies that are small all the way up to large. It's interesting perspective that even in some of the larger multi-billion-dollar organizations, their operations in this area are still very manual. So there's a lot of opportunity in the market for companies like ours.
Yeah, no question about it. Thanks so much for being with us. What would be the one best website that you could give people to go to? TakeSupplyChain.com. TAKE supplychain.com. All you need to know is there. Thanks for being with us. I appreciate it. When we come back, much more for you. I do want to remind you, best content here shows up over there at usdatareview.com. I'm Kevin Price. This is The Price of Business.